You are 27 years old and you are doing everything right. You have a spreadsheet, not a rough one, a real one with color-coded columns, automatic formulas, and a tab labeled Fire Date that you update every quarter. You know what FIRE stands for. You have known since you were 24, financially independent, retire early. You found the subreddit at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday and you did not sleep until 2 a.m. because something in it felt like a door opening in a room you didn't know existed. You save 34% of your take-home income. You track every dollar, not loosely, precisely. You use an app that categorizes your spending and sends you a weekly summary. Last month you spent $11 on entertainment. You are proud of this. The people you work with spend $11 on a single cocktail and do not think about it afterward. You think about it for them. Your lunch is packed every day. A rotation of 5 meals prepped Sunday afternoon in glass containers lined up in the refrigerator like a system because it is a system. You have calculated that packing lunch saves you $2,340 a year compared to buying it. You have compounded that number out 30 years at 8%. You know what it becomes. You eat the same sandwich and you think about that number and it tastes like discipline. This is what optimization feels like from the inside, not deprivation, clarity. You tell yourself it is clarity. Your 401k is maxed, has been since year 2. You found the contribution limit, you hit it, you moved on. You have a Roth IRA, also maxed. You opened an HSA the day you became eligible and you treat it like a third retirement account because that is what it is if you use it correctly and you use it correctly. You have read the tax code on this, not a summary, the actual code. Your brokerage account has $38,000 in it. Total market index fund, 0.03% expense ratio. You know what the expense ratio is on every fund you have ever considered. You have rejected funds for having expense ratios that were 0.4% too high. You understand what 0.4% compounded over 35 years actually means, and once you understand it, you cannot unknow it. Your net worth is $94,000. You are 27. Every calculator you run puts you ahead of 94% of people your age. You know this statistic. You have looked it up more than once, not to feel superior, you tell yourself, but to confirm you are on track. You are on track. The FIRE date on the spreadsheet says 51. You have run conservative projections, 6% real return, 25x expenses, a safe withdrawal rate of 3.8% because 4% feels aggressive and you do not do aggressive. You will have $1.9 million by 51 and you will retire and then your life will begin. You have been waiting for your life to begin for 3 years. There is a wedding in September. College friends, the kind of wedding with a venue that has exposed beams and a signature cocktail named after the couple's dog. You do the math before you RSVP. Flight $280. Hotel 2 nights $340 split with nobody because you do not have a +1 right now. Gift $150 because you looked up the etiquette and landed in the acceptable range. New dress $0. You will wear something you have. Total $780. You sit with $780 for 4 days. You go, you stand at the edge of the reception with a glass of water because you already spent $14 on a drink earlier and you told yourself 1. You watch people you used to know orbit each other easily. Someone is talking about a trip to Portugal. Someone else just moved into a place with a rooftop. A woman you studied abroad with has a job you have never heard of and seems completely unbothered by the cost of anything happening around her. You do not feel superior. You feel something adjacent to loneliness that you do not have a clean word for. You fly home on Sunday, you update the spreadsheet, the FIRE date has not moved, you feel better, you sleep. The first rule, optimization is a strategy, it is not a life. The difference is easy to miss from inside the spreadsheet. You are 31, net worth is $187,000, you have been promoted twice. Your savings rate has climbed to 41%, the FIRE date has moved to 48. You show your coworker Daniel the projection one afternoon, not bragging, just sharing, because you spend more time with Daniel than with most people and sometimes you need someone to see the number. Daniel looks at it for a moment. He says, "What are you going to do at 48? You say travel, you say read, you say not this. He says, "Do you like traveling?" You say, "Of course." He says, "When did you last go somewhere?" You think about it? A long weekend in 2021 to see your parents. A work conference in Atlanta where you expensed the hotel, nothing that was just for you, nothing that cost money you chose to spend on a thing only you would benefit from. You tell Daniel you are in the accumulation phase. Spending on experiences now is inefficient, the math does not support it. Daniel nods, he does not argue with you, he goes back to his desk. You go back to yours, you feel like you won the conversation, you are not sure what you won. Your mother calls in February. She is 61. She sounds tired in a way that is new. She has been having some pain, nothing serious yet, but the doctors want to do more tests. She says she wishes you lived closer. You live 4 hours away because the city you chose had a lower cost of living and a better job market, and you ran the numbers in 2019 and it was the correct decision on paper. You tell her you will visit soon. You do not book anything that week. The flights are $310 round trip and it is not a good month. You visit in April. She looks older than February. You stay 4 days. On the last morning you sit at her kitchen table and she makes coffee the way she always has, too strong, with the old machine she has used since you were in middle school. She asks if you are happy. You say you are building something. She says that is not what I asked. You drive to the airport. You do not know how to answer the question, so you put it somewhere without a label and close the tab. The shift: there is a difference between building a future and deferring a present. Most optimizers never find the line until they have already crossed it. You are 34, net worth is $312,000, the fire date says 46. You have moved it so many times it has started to feel abstract, a coordinate on a map of a place you have never been. You have not had a relationship that lasted longer than 4 months in 6 years. Not because you are unavailable emotionally, you tell yourself, because your lifestyle is specific, because you do not spend the way other people spend, and that creates friction and the friction compounds. You went on 7 dates last year. 3 ended when the other person suggested a restaurant you found overpriced. 1 ended because you declined a spontaneous weekend trip. You told her you needed more notice to plan the budget. She looked at you like you had said something in a language she did not speak. You are very good at being alone. You have optimized for it without meaning to. Your friend Jordan buys a house. You run the numbers on it without being asked. Wrong market, overpaid. The opportunity cost of the down payment at a 9% annual return over 20 years is $190,000. You send Jordan a message that begins with "not trying to rain on your parade," but Jordan does not reply for 2 weeks. When he does, he says the house has a backyard and his kids like it. He does not mention the message. You have been making financially correct statements to people who did not ask for them for so long that you have started to mistake correctness for connection. The second rule: a number on a spreadsheet does not know you. It does not know what you gave up to produce it. It will not be there at the kitchen table. It will not ask how you are. You are 41, net worth is $680,000. The fire date is 47. You are 6 years away. Your mother's health has moved from manageable to serious. You take unpaid leave for 3 weeks to be with her. It costs you $4,100 in lost income and approximately nothing in any unit of measurement that matters. You sit with her in the hospital and you watch her sleep, and you think about the 4 hours of distance and the $310 flights and the months you did not book, and you do not do the math on those. There is no column for them. She recovers partially. She is home by November. You start driving up every 6 weeks. You stop calculating the cost before you go. This is the first financial decision you have made in 15 years that you made without running a number, and it does not feel irresponsible. It feels like what money was supposed to be for. You are 47, the fire date arrives. Your net worth is $1.94 million. The spreadsheet was right. The projections held. You hit the number you have been watching since you were 24 years old in a subreddit at 11 p.m. and you did not sleep, and something felt like a door opening. You sit at your desk on the last day and you log in and you look at the balance, and it is there, exact, real yours. You thought you would feel like a door was opening. You feel like you're standing in a hallway. The freedom you saved for is real. The time is yours. There is nowhere to be tomorrow, and no one expecting anything, and no alarm, and no packed lunch, and no spreadsheet to update. The number is done. The accumulation phase is over. You do not know what phase comes next. You call your mother. She picks up on the second ring. She sounds tired but warm. You tell her you retired today. She says, "Come visit." You say you will come Thursday. You book the flight before you hang up. It is $340 and you do not check if it is the cheapest option. You sit in the quiet apartment that is efficient and organized and optimized, and you think about Jordan's backyard and the wedding you stood at the edge of, and the woman who wanted to go somewhere spontaneous, and Daniel's question and your mother's question, the one you put in a folder without a label and never opened. What are you going to do at 48? You are 47, you are going to find out. The third rule: the number is never the destination. It is the proof that you were capable of getting somewhere where you actually needed to go was not on the spreadsheet. The fire date was always real. The question your mother asked was realer. You had one life running in a spreadsheet and one running underneath it, and you told yourself they were the same thing for long enough that you almost believed it. Almost. The market opens tomorrow, the account is still there, the formula still works. The only variable that was never in the model was what any of it was actually for. You know the answer now. You just wish you had asked the question sooner.